I'm so happy to get a few minutes to talk to you. I really think that this kind of show is something that the world really needs right now. So I'm really happy we get a fifth season. I want to start with, okay, so 5 seasons is a rare achievement for comedy. So not only as an actor, but also as an executive producer, what do you think Trine has managed to preserve about itself that keeps like audiences coming back?
I think first and foremost, ultimately, a TV show that sustains, that does many seasons, is basically a group of people that you as an audience member like to spend time with, like to hang out with. My favorite shows have always done that. Things like Brooklyn Nine-Nine say, they're just like really defined, specific characters, each of whom you love in their own way. So there's that. And I think that something quite rare is to get the balance between comedy and pathos and drama. That is a very difficult thing to do. If it wasn't difficult, more people would do it. But the writer, Andy Walton, who's written every single episode of the show, which again is rare in this day and age of writers' rooms and collaboration, like he's really got a very keen sense of authorship over the show. That's his great talent, is dealing with difficult subject matters, real world issues, but having three jokes on every page at the same time. And that I think is part of the success of the show. Because I think that we as audiences deal with difficult situations with humor. So I think it's very reflective of lived experience.
I love that because at least in the beginning of the show that there's like this heartbreaking complexity to the situation with the return of Kat because she's not the villain, she's not a bad guy, which kind of makes it even more complex because if she were the bad guy, you can just push her aside and that's it, but she's not. So it makes like Nikki confront something that many adoptive parents need to deal with, which is, am I enough? Is she gonna take the kids away from me? And I like how Jason has like grown from season 1 to season 5, where he's now like this emotional family translator, I'd say. So, how do you think how do you think Jason from season 1 would deal with this situation right now?
Yeah, I think he would be out of his depth, and I think that it, again, one of the things that makes the show live is that you want to see that the characters have grown with you as an audience member too, right? I know in my own life I'm very different to the person that I was 8 years ago when I first read the Trying script. It was 8 years ago now. I feel like a different person. My essence is the same, but a lot of life has happened to me since then, and a lot of life has happened to these characters. And I think we're defined by how we deal with difficulty. In my own life, it's definitely deepened me as a person. It's made me more empathetic. It's made me more mature. It's made me more emotionally intelligent. And this has happened with Jason too. And the writer has done a great job in evolving the characters into the people that we have now in season 5. And one of the lovely things to represent for me is a really good father. I think that Jason's a really good dad. And I think in a day and age when there's so much discourse and conversation about the shape of masculinity and about the negative impacts of masculinity on the world, it's nice to show some positive aspects of masculinity, and it's nice to show a good present father on screen, you know?
Yep. And I want to talk about this one line that appears that Jason says in episode 1. He says like to Nikki, her trying doesn't look like our trying, which is it's such a simple sentence, but it feels like the thesis of the whole entire season. And it at least for me, and I know that when the audience sees it, it's gonna be as impactful. So I wonder, when you read that line in the script, was it as impactful for you as it is gonna be for the audience?
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. I think you're right. That is the essence of the show, is that we all try. There's no black and white, only grey. As you said earlier, the character of Kat, it would be easy for the audience if she were just a villain, but she's got three dimensions. She's trying to do the right thing and failing. And as I said earlier, we're defined by how we cope with our own failures. To me, in my own life, parenting is defined by failing. I get it wrong every day with my own kids, but I keep showing up and I keep trying to improve. And I think that's very identifiable, really, from an audience's point of view, because God knows we mess up on a daily basis, but we keep going, right?
Yep. And one of my favorite developments this season with Jason is that he becomes a college student. So it's funny, it's surprisingly vulnerable as well. So what did you like most about exploring that side of him?
I think that you can define comedy as watching someone do a task that they're ill-equipped to do. That's basically comedy in a nutshell, right? And that is absolutely represented in Jason having to go to university with a bunch of 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds as a man in his early 40s. I think that's very vulnerable making and fertile ground for comedy, but also, as you say, representations of vulnerability. Like it's sweet him trying to kind of get in with the kids, and he sees that he can learn things from them as much as he can impart his sort of older wisdom onto them. And I think that that would be fun for audiences to watch.
It was fun. And just to tell you a little bit, as a person that went to college with 18-year-olds in my late 20s, I felt represented. So thank you.
Oh, good. I'm so pleased. Well, there you go. That's so great to hear.